Hey guys, what's going on? I'm back and I'm finally posting stuff on this channel again. I know I said that I was going to be doing it every now and again, but I missed you guys. I missed all of you who decided to show up to this channel, who wanted to just take a break from the gaming stuff. So I figured we can go this route and I can show you some cool stuff. Really quick, just a slight update. You are not going to be seeing this green screen much longer. I ordered a tapestry to place in the background because I wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit. I want to make it a little more personal. I want it to be something a little different. So when that comes, you'll see a massive change in scenery, in aesthetics, if you will. But I'm excited to do that, and it's going to affect the streaming stuff as well. Also, you're probably wondering, hey, why is the name of this channel PageMaster? Well, I basically wanted to use PageMaster as like the overall media name I wanted to use for stuff. So I figured this could be the place for that, whether it be vlogs, reviews, anything that I can kind of put a production to. That would be kind of nice. Even though this is literally like just me pointing to lights and stuff like that. And yeah, it's not really that big of a production value on this video. I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I kind of don't show off. My vinyl collection. This came about after I went to visit the guys when I was in Austin. I happened to see that Z has a sizable record collection. He has a bunch of movie soundtracks. He has a couple of albums that he likes, old classic albums too, like Queen's A Night at the Opera. I believe he has Day at the Races, but he has a bunch of records and stuff like that, and that kind of like captured my eye. And I never thought I would do that because, as you guys know, I have a massive movie collection. We'll do a video on that soon enough. Yeah, I basically kind of decided, alright, I want to get a couple of records, and the records that I get are going to be the ones that I know for a fact I'm going to love, and I'm going to be able to listen to front to back and have no problems doing that. And I usually do that when I'm editing, when I'm like just sitting on the computer. I'll just pop on the vinyl player and just listen to shit. You know, that's kind of just the way to do it, honestly. I know I usually like have my headphones and I use like Spotify and shit like that for just regular tracks, but yeah, that's really it. So I figure more or less we can just dive right into it. I will show you guys an album and we'll talk about it for like a minute and a half, and we'll go from there. To start things off though, I will start with an album that actually is not mine. I bought this actually from Marissa. She took a massive liking to this artist, so much so we went to the Barclays Center on New Year's Eve to see him. Post Malone's Beer Bongs and Bentleys. So while this is hers, and I did buy it for Christmas, I do enjoy Post Malone as well. I'm not as much, what is it that she says, I don't stan Post Malone as much as she does. I sound so fucking old saying that. I'm not that big of a fan of Post Malone. I like a couple songs. I've done a cover on the main channel of I Fall Apart, but I do like a couple of songs on this. I like his style. It's very much like, if anything, Post Malone is more chill music to me, like with the exception of Over Now, which is an awesome song on the album. If you have a chance, listen to it. He is so mad at a woman that he threatens he's gonna put her pussy in a body bag. Like, that's an actual fucking line in the song, and it's amazing. But the song is great. There's a bunch of songs on here I can say I like. Rockstar's great. Sugar Wraith is great. Blame It On Me. I know Marissa just loves the entire album. She loves the whole discography of Post Malone. But I like it. I like it a lot. And even though it's Marissa's album, I will give it a listen every now and again. And now we're going to go on to one of my favorite albums of all time, and that would of course be Frank Turner's Tape Deck Heart. I got this as a birthday gift several years ago from Marissa, and I was intentionally just going to hang it up. I had no plans of like having a record player. I had no plans of like listening to vinyls or anything like that. This was just going to hang up on my wall for as long as I could because it's one of my favorite albums. Front to back, I love every single thing about it. Recovery, The Way I Tend to Be, Losing Days, I have a tattoo of that. There's a bunch of great songs on that album, and I would absolutely recommend just listening to it front to back. But yeah, and then I got this vinyl player, and then I finally opened it up, and I was like, what is this, like, color of the vinyl? It's pretty nice, dude. Like, I was actually genuinely surprised how nice the vinyl is, and it sounds great. I was gonna say more or less, it's weird because like you listen to a vinyl record and you realize how much of a difference it makes when it comes to that versus like the digital release. Yeah, I absolutely love Frank Turner and everything he's done. And there's another album in there that I'll cover when it comes to the time of talking about that. But yeah, I fucking love his style. I love his acoustic performances. I love how he even works with a backing band. I love that he can also sound like a decent punk artist. He's fucking fantastic. He's my immediate recommendation for anyone who wants to listen to like rock music or anything. Go listen to Frank Turner, and then you'll just go down a rabbit hole of other cool artists that you can find who tour with him. Homeless Gospel Choir, Arkells, Lucero, the Messingers. Fucking anyone who's toured with him is a gem, and like it's all thanks to him. Okay, so next up on the list we have my one and only soundtrack that I own, and I think it's within good reason to own this soundtrack. The original Twin Peaks soundtrack. That's the original 1990s one by David Lynch. The soundtrack was done by Angelo Badalamenti. It sounds very much like an homage to cheesy old soap operas, if I may. It has its own unique style. I've used some like covers of the Twin Peaks theme in some of my videos, sort of like lo-fi stuff. Nice, right? Anyway, so yeah, it's more or less background noise, but it's a great album. I would highly recommend owning it. If you're into like that chill sort of thing that you want to listen to, it's pretty great. Also, watch the series. Fucking Twin Peaks is a great series, and it's a great rabbit hole you can dive down. Season 3 is fucking dark, though, so just be on the lookout. We're gonna go into one of my other favorite bands. I know this is a lot of just talking about my favorite bands, honestly. Let's go with that. But we're gonna go into one of my favorite ska bands, and that would be Streetlight Manifesto with The Hands That Thieve. This is just a punch to the face when it comes to just how it starts off. I still think my favorite song on this album is, of course, the title track, The Hands That Thieve. It's a very motivational ass kicker. Not gonna lie, it brings me to tears a little bit every time we get to the bridge of that song. But that's just for my own personal reasons. They helped me out of a bad spot in my life, and I really would recommend you guys go listen to Streetlight. Specifically this album, because I feel like I know a lot of people say when it comes to Streetlight Manifesto that everything went numb. Keasbey Nights, those are kind of like the staple tracks and albums of Streetlight Manifesto, but honestly I fucking love The Hands That Thieve. I came on at somewhere in the between and came into Hands That Thieve just loving that style. But that's just me. That's just my thought on it. And then we go on to a band that stuck with me through high school, and I will never let them die whatsoever. AFI's The Blood album. This is one of their more recent releases. They have this tendency, and it's, in my opinion, they are a band much like how David Bowie was. They are a group of chameleons who are ever changing and ever evolving. If you look at them as a band, whether it be from Sing the Sorrow or December Underground, they very much were in the mainstream emo scene, I guess you could say, like emo punk scene. But as they got on, they got a little darker, they got a little heavier, and they grew up, if you will. Like their look, they changed dramatically. Like I can post a picture of old Davey Havok and new Davey Havok. One looks like a woman, one looks like a very nerdy science professor, and it's fantastic to see how he changed. But no, so I like a lot of what they did on the Blood album. Snowcats is a great fucking song. Still a Stranger's great. Aurelia's great. That's got more of like a Cure vibe to it. The whole album is just a great listen. I argue it's one of their best albums, if not for Sing the Sorrow. I mean, You Never Forget Your First. Would definitely say that's an album you need to check out. Just for a great punk album that came out in like, what, 2016, 2017? It's dope. It's fucking awesome. Alright, then speaking of punk, my other favorite Frank Turner album, which you can't really, I don't know if most people would consider it an album, more of a compilation, but Songbook. Songbook is a greatest hits album. It's a lot of stuff from England Keep My Bones, Positive Songs for Negative People, Tape Deck Heart. It's a lot of that stuff. So it's a lot of his like great stuff. Even like Sleep Is For The Weak, some stuff shows up on there. But there's a bonus to it. He released a second half where it's all B-side arrangements of his hits. You basically get like 3 albums, 4 albums worth of content, even though some of them are like 2017 arrangements that are new and fresh and give a different perspective on certain songs. Hell, because of this, I would say that the song I Am Disappeared, the 2017 version, is my favorite Frank Turner song of all time now. Losing Days was originally it, but this kind of takes the cake. I love how it was put together, starting from like an acoustic slow build to the ending chorus, which is the whole band, and it speaks to the lyrics very well. If you want to get into Frank Turner, Songbook is the best way you can do it. Okay, so we've gone through every one of my albums, and a lot of them have special meaning to me. And I mentioned before that Tape Deck Heart is up there as one of my favorite albums of all time. It's my favorite Frank Turner album of all time. However, my favorite album of all time came about when I listened to it in full on vinyl, and that's why I have it. So without further ado, Brand New Science Fiction. This is easily one of my favorite albums of all time. I can listen to it front to back. Every single song, every single track has an awesome meaning to me, and it's fantastic, and it sent me down this rabbit hole of listening to the band, just album to album. If not for science fiction, The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me would be a close second to my favorite album. Every single track is awesome. Personally, some of my favorites are 451, 138. Lit Me Up is a great one. Same Logic / Teeth is another great one. Out of Mana. Fuck, every single one of them. In the Water is a solid jam. But no, I know it's hard to say with how Brand New ended. It's hard to say go buy this album, just because of what happened, but honestly, I would recommend you go listen to it. It's a solid rock album. I would absolutely say it, for the year it came out, it's definitely one of the best albums of the year, easily. But yeah, that's my record collection, guys. I'm glad you got to sit with me and go through it. I'm glad to show you guys. I don't think I really have many more albums I want, maybe like 1 or 2. I know I want the Baby Driver soundtrack, and I know I want Devil and God, but other than that, I'm not really sure what other records I could get. Maybe there'll be a part 2 when this thing extends. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And before we go though, again, this channel was meant also as a conversation piece. So I wanted to read your comments from the first video I did, the mukbang I did, and I wanted to see what your favorite foods were. So let's dive into that. Lady Vader says, my favorite food is pizza. It's just a beautiful creation that I've always loved. I mean, you can't go wrong with pizza, but it depends on the type of pizza. Usually I'll usually get like a flatbread or like a Brooklyn style pizza, and I'll get white sauce, bacon and pepperoni. Or if it's from any other place, I'll usually get like a buffalo chicken slice. That's the best way to do it. So Steven said, my favorite food is sushi. I'm a sucker for Asian cuisine. Fucking mood. I'm more or less a sashimi guy, so I'll get like salmon, I'll get red snapper, I'll get red clam, I'll get mackerel. That's my kind of sashimi that I'll get. It's really nice. Kitty Cat says, my favorite food is either fried chicken with cornstarch or rice sketty? What the fuck? Morel Hillhorst says, my favorite food at the moment is very Dutch. Angevieve stamp. Okay, hang on 1 second. Google translates. Okay, Angevieve stampot. Let's hear this.
Andijvie stampot.
Ew, that's fucking weird. Anyway, it is basically cooked potatoes mashed with raw endive and some mayo and bacon pieces. I don't know what endive is, but I'll take the potato and bacon pieces. Screw the mayo. I'm okay without that. Let's see. What else we got? Let's go with one more. Kai1068 says, my favorite food is chicken, and it doesn't matter what you do with it. Marcella, Alfredo, piccata, or just a piece of chicken with some lemon pepper spice, etc., etc. I would recommend going with a chicken franchise. That's the best. That like creamy lemony sauce or whatever. That's awesome. Definitely something I love. My other favorite foods obviously would be penne alla vodka, which I know it's penny, not ziti. I fucking was under pressure when I fucking said that. Cajun chicken pasta or Cajun shrimp pasta. Anything like Cajun pasta. That's really my jam. And then empanadas. Empanadas are fucking solid. Favorite fast food though, right now, you can call it fast food, Chipotle. Chipotle bowl or a burrito, if you give me one a day, I'll just be fucking content. And that's what I enjoy. And before I go, let's add this little question just to continue the conversation going. Guys, what's your favorite album of all time? I told you mine, so let's hear what your favorite musical albums are. Thank you guys so much for watching this vlog. I will see you on the next one. There's a video somewhere here, or it's gonna fade out and there will be a video. But yeah, go check it out. I will see you guys later. Have a good night.